Hello and welcome to part 2B of my Blender to Unity Tower Defense game tutorial. In this part we're going to model this cylinder stand here. It might look a bit like this. As with everyone I've seemed to have started, it seems to look slightly differently by the time we finish, but that's part of the fun of the creativity of it all. We'll see what we come up with. The cylinder should be quite straightforward. There's not much to it, as you can see, just a few effects, but it does give us the opportunity to show you the folders facility in Substance Painter 2, and we can, as you can see here, we've added some normals in there to add some funky effects in there, and of course you can go to town as you feel you should. So here's the one I created. Let me just tab out and I'll start all over again. So I'll just do File, New. We'll discard those changes. Yes, let's just do it. Okay, and we'll click Select, and we'll go back to our models and Base. And no, excuse me, not base, it was stands, wasn't it? And stand cylinder.fbx. You may recall we exported that a little while ago from Blender, and here it is in its very basic and raw form. So before we get started with anything else, let's do the usual. Let's bake our textures. Okay, we want the output size to be 1024 by 1024, or at least I do. If you've got a powerful computer, you might want to tweak that up, or if you're using higher resolution textures for your game. I'm just going to go subsampling 2x2 on the anti-aliasing, just to smooth off some of these edges here, particularly around the what do you call that section? The sort of the middle section. I don't even know what to call it really. So just wait for that to finish. Shouldn't take too long. 4x4 takes, I would say, easily twice as long. 8x8 seems to take forever. Go make yourself a cup of tea. But 2x2 isn't too bad. That should be finished. We're done. There we go. Great. So what we'll now do is we will immediately get rid of the layer that comes with it, and we will create our first folder. And you can click on that over here. You can see this here. Add a folder. And what we'll do is we'll just call this middle. Okay. There's no real noticeable effect on that now, but what we can do is we can start dragging materials to that specific folder. And you think, well, what's the point of that? And I will show you. Let's just start off by just picking. I think I went for something quite metallic for the middle section, so let's do the same thing. Let's go for iron grinded. So if we just drag that into that folder there, it affects the whole area. And you think, well, okay, I only wanted to affect the middle. And here's what you can do. That I think is rather good, is that you can put a black mask on the folder itself. So let's do that. Add black mask. And now you see again, as usual, it's made everything transparent. So what we'll do is we'll just make this black mask affect the middle section, and anything in that folder then will only be applied to the middle piece. Makes sense, doesn't it? The way I define the which triangles, polys, should be selected for this middle section is I use this tool over here, which is the polygon fill. And this allows you to either select or unselect, so white is selecting and black is unselecting. You can click on UV areas, which selects the whole thing. I'll just undo that. You can select specific triangles, I think, you see, or you can select faces, and you can also click and drag, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to click and drag. Oh, you see I made a mistake there, but that's okay, because what I'll just do is I'll go to black and then just select those to unselect it. So I think something I've never quite understood is why when you select it, it selects the whole area, but I'm actually happy that it's done that. Okay, so I'm already quite pleased with the way that looks. Let's work on that now. I'll click back into paint mode. Okay, we've got our iron grinded here. What we'll do now is we'll add some kind of scratches and dirt to it. So let's just add another material. If we click here, let's just grab painted steel and pop that in and put it above iron. As you can expect, that makes it all black, but we'll do the usual thing. We'll add our black mask. You'll notice here, by the way, that there's this nasty aliasing effect here. We can tidy that up a bit later on. We'll use the paint tool to tidy that up. That's what I did last time. It may not even show when we've actually finished, but let's keep working. So guess what? We'll add our black mask, and to that black mask we will add a generator, and in that generator we will add the dirt, which I hope makes it look a lot dirtier, and it does. That's exactly the effect I was going for. I was going to try and play around with it. We can play around with it. You can see you can make it really bad, or you can make it really light. I'm really pleased with the way that's done that. Just drag that out a little bit more, maybe. Make it quite dirty. That's really good. I like that. It's this material has obviously got some height information as well. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can. It's nice and shiny. I'm really happy with the way that looks to start with. We can always add my personal favourite filter, which is the add filter and then add filter sharpen. Let's have a quick look, see how that looks. You may like that effect. I am liking that effect. This is what I like about Substance Painter 2. You're straight in there, and what was it? How long have we been doing this? 2 minutes, and we're already looking rather, rather decent for this middle section. And I think what I'll do is I'll just drag this sharpen filter down a bit. We don't want it completely blurred, somewhere maybe about there. Okay, so for now, let's just leave that as it is. Okay, and let's work on this other section, what should we call it, the main section. So let's just collapse this folder by clicking on the little down arrow here. It's a lot like a regular Explorer folder, right? You just click on here to see the stuff underneath it. It's well worth doing this for larger meshes, where you've got different sections, perhaps different items of clothing or what have you. That's worth doing. There are other ways, by the way, of separating stuff out, but for me right now I export this all as one mesh. If you use different materials in Blender, it will actually, can you see up here I've got the word material, and that's it. That's because I've only used one material for this in this mesh. Obviously it's not very big. It would be crazy to use more than one material, but if you did use more than one material, then you'd actually and named them correct, because it looks like I didn't even name my material. If I'd named it, then all of those would be different areas here, and Substance Painter 2 would actually export those using different image channels, different image texture files. Okay, so let's move on. Let's create the main base here now. So this should be quite straightforward as well. We'll create another folder. Where on earth did it put that? I think I just created a fill layer, didn't I? Let's Control Z. Excuse me, I'll create a folder. I don't know whether it's something I'm doing wrong. Let me just try this. I'm going to try. So we've got the middle selected. Let me try adding a folder now. Oh, there we go. It does go back. It looks like it adds, when you click add, it adds it directly above what you have selected. So let's click on main. Okay, we will adopt a similar approach. I'm just going to add a very simple material. In fact, I may even just do add fill layer and then drag that in. Guess what? It's done the usual thing. I want this fill layer to be I think it was a dark green color, wasn't it? So I'll click dynamic, click on green, pick a greenish over here, and then start going down on the colors to something about there. Something about there. Okay, yeah, I like that. We just need to add the black mask to the main folder, and we'll do that. Add black mask. Okay, this is kind of working out exactly how at least I'd expect it to have worked. So now we'll go back to our polygon fill. Select this one. Select the, what's it called, mesh fill, and then we'll just click and drag. That didn't work. Oh, it's because I'm on black, so I need to go across to white. Click and drag. So it's not mesh fill, it must be this next one, excuse me, polygon fill. I'm sorry, it is polygon fill. Click on there and do the same down there. Nice and easy. You can select them individually. I'll just show you. You can just do this if you want to. Luckily we can do that, and again it affects the whole texture. Okay, so we've got ourselves our two different folders now, one for the main section and one for the middle. Do you like that, the way that works? We need to start improving the way this looks, that's for sure. If I spin back to my initial image, we'll work on the skull and crossbones, but it looks like I've got a kind of a yellow dirt layer, so let's start with that. Let's get our thing on the go here. We'll just call that green, shall we? So it's clear, if it wasn't already. In the green channel, let's just add a few bits. Let's add some roughness. Roughness, which we will select as a procedural mask. Let's just go down here. I never find the right ones. Just play around. Grunge, scratches, dirt. How does that look? Yes, that looks good to me. Can you see that's kind of dirtied it right up? And we'll also add some height information, which I can't. We won't adjust metallic. Where's height? There it is. Click on there, and again, same deal. Let's try dirt 3. As usual, it's crazy too much. So let's just quickly click on here, click on the height channel, and drag that right down to something that is tiny. 3, and also I think change it to triplanar and set the UV scale to 6. How does that look? I can't really see. using this panorama. I don't want to change this. You can change the background settings. I don't know if you've seen this over here. Display settings. We'll go to viewer settings. You've got all these environments you can set. No, sorry, excuse me. Environment maps you can set. So I'll just do cave, and you see it's very blurred at the minute. We can unblur that just by adjusting the blur. You see, and then move around. It shows you the environment you see that you're working on. I don't know if that's made it better or not, easier to see or not. It hasn't. Let's just try a darker one. Don't want to go too. Let's talk about Corsica something. Corsica Beach. Yeah, all right, we'll go with that because you can see what's going on. So there we go. We've got a little bit of mottling, I think we'd call that. So let's add some yellow dirt to it. We'll call it yellow. And then, so what we'll do is we'll click on the green then, and then we'll click on the fill layer. We're only interested in the color channel, and we will make this, as you know, a yellow. Excuse me, click on dynamic and then change it to yellow. Somewhere about, I found a bright yellow and then go and then darken it down. Okay, so let's just call this yellow scratches. Okay, and then we will get rid of that. And the usual thing, add a black mask. Where are you, black mask? There you are. And I'm going to go to the smart masks now and find myself some let's try soft dirt. Let's just start with that, drag it in. Too soft, so to Control Z. Subtle scratches, let's look at that. Okay, this is looking a bit better. It's a bit clumsy. It's worth turning off sharpen for this, isn't it? And then clicking on here, it's actually metal edge wear, look, with a sharpen filter. So let's just turn this down on the grunge amount. Let's just play around with these until we get something that we like. It is going to be subtle. Everything needs to be subtle in this, I think. Otherwise, it's let's keep the sharpen mask back on. I think what I will do. It's kind of random, isn't it? You can play around with this. Maybe you like that. I don't know. I'm just going to make that right. Barely noticeable, and then whack the wear level right up. No, I don't know. Maybe about there. I think what I will do is make it affect the height as well. So if I do this and then just drag that down, that will make it so that the yellow actually goes in a bit. Can you see that? I'll just show you extreme. So you can make it so it's just, there we go. And I think what I will do is go back to my metal edge wear, back the grunge amount up a touch. Let's have a look at the sharpen again. Can we make it even sharper? Yes, we can. Don't know. Let's keep it around 1. Okay. That height to me is too much. So sorry guys, this is the thing, you play around with this stuff. So let's just make that a little bit more subtle. So it's barely noticeable. There we go. Okay, I'm going with that. Sort of a green and yellow. You can always darken this stuff up. This is the thing, you see, because you're working on channels. Spinning back to my reference image, I think I added some white as well. Yeah, so let's add some metal scratch. Let's do a very similar thing with metal scratches. So again, we will click on here and we will add a fill layer, which we will make a metally iron pure, let's say. Okay, we'll turn off height's already off for this. Okay, good. So we'll just call that iron scratches. Okay, and guess what? We're going to add a black mask, and we will add another generator. Let's just quickly check out the dirt. Okay, I can see that we need to go to triplanar. Can you see this here? Hopefully, let's just have a quick look. If we click on this here and go to triplanar, it didn't work. Oh, that's upsetting. Algorithmic, I know you're watching this. Why is that seam still there? Let's just try a couple of things. What was it? Bilinear HQ. I picked the right one, haven't I? Yeah. I will obviously dial this down in a second. Bear with me. I'm just trying to work on the. We can adjust this Okay, so we obviously have some sort of issue here. Let's just try changing that back to 3, wasn't it? 3ish. Click on here. I think it might be able to do it by here if we click on triplanar on. There we go. Excuse me. It's a minefield, isn't it? But look what a difference it's made by clicking on the MG dirt and selecting use triplanar on. Where's the seam? There isn't one. Okay, it's way too dirty though, so let's just quickly get rid of that all the way down there, something like that. That's much better. And again, I think I'm going to make this affect the height channel. Just a nudge. Just make sure it does attach it, yeah. Just so it shows, just so there's something there. Okay, you can see here we've got a problem. I'm going to clean that up in a few seconds' time. I like the way that's working. There's one thing I want to show you as well, which I really like as an effect, which is called ground dirt. So we can do this on the iron scratchings actually. If we go to smart masks again and look for ground dirt, these are in alphabetical order by the way. Ground dirt, there we go. We drag this on, we can add it to the same map. And I don't know what this filter here is, or fill, but this MG ground dirt here is another here's another effect you can add. It's way too high, so that's the first thing we're going to do. We're just going to bring this down, keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going over there, and we need to drag this right down as well, just so it's a bit more subtle. And then you can see where we're going with this, right? And then we just drag it up a bit. There we go. And I think that's good, but it's looking too harsh, so we'll quickly click on let's also add linear dodge. Make sure it's not affecting the other stuff. Indeed, it is a minefield. This I won't deny it. You see, you need to make sure that says linear dodge so that it's not overriding the this dirt layer here. Okay, linear dodge is useful, but I also think it's too strong. So I'm going to just click on the base color channel. Click on ground dirt and just. Interesting, it's already on 75. Let's just make it a bit more subtle. Just so you know it's there, and it's taking a bit of heat at the bottom. It's very shiny, isn't it? But I'm going to go with it. I think that as a kind of a standard, you may think that's too much, and like I say, you can dial these settings back so you've got a more, or a less weathered looking cylinder. But yeah, I think maybe I could play around with this. I might just dial some of these height settings back because it looks very rusty almost, doesn't it? Like it's been eroded. I'm going to stick with it for now because I kind of like that. Let's fix this issue with the join here. Now, obviously, we've got two separate folders here, so I'm going to actually apply a brush to the above this, to kind of an everything brush. I could create a folder for it, but for now I'm just going to add a layer. I'll call this edge tidy or something. I think that's what I called it on the last one, edge tidy. Well, that's probably the wrong term for it. Let's call it edge blend, shall we? Edge blend. Okay, and now this is a little bit. Let's press F6 to go into orthographic, and then just Alt Shift and hold so that it's got nice and flat. Okay, and we will grab ourselves a dirt brush, and we'll select ourselves a nice dark material. Steel rust. Okay, let's just drag that across, see how it looks. That looks okay. It's a little strong. Let's try dirt 3. That's a little weak. We've got all these angle and flow jitters. Let's just flow jitter. Yeah, let's keep that quite low. Angle jitter's fine. Position jitter. Yeah, let's keep that quite low as well. The size we need to drag right down. I'm doing control right and then control right mouse and then left and then right on the mouse to adjust the size. So let's just try it. Let's just click here, holding the shift button, and then click again. So it's too small, so let's make it a bit bigger. Oh, excuse me. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's not strong enough, is it? Let's swing back to here. Drag that down. Well, I'm too low. Yeah, let's just. It is affecting both sides, isn't it? It is. It's just not strong enough. Let's have a quick look at the flow jitter. Let's get that right down. Yeah, that's a bit stronger, isn't it? So let's just do that. And I'll just drag it across like so. Maybe back again, just to really prove the point. Okay, and then we can come back round. Yeah, it's really. I'd be very tempted to so I'm just holding shift here just to tidy these edges up. It's a little crunchy, isn't it? And what I can do is create another layer. What I'll do is another layer and then just delete this one, so that all the settings are kept. Edge blend, and I will make this so that it adjusts the roughness. There we go. I think roughness is selected. Metallic roughness. Let's just check that out. See if that's it. That's it. I think that removes the. That's it. By dialing this up, the metal roughness, it removes the that shine there that looks to me, I think, almost like an error. So let's try now. Let's lower the size. Clicking on here. This is better. Okay. So we're just going to keep clicking around. And oh. Like I said, because it's using this UV wrapping thing, you can just whenever you move it, by the way, whenever you pan around, that shift stops working, which is annoying to me. I think we're nearly there, aren't we? Yeah, I can see where we are. I can see it coming up. Look. And then there. Okay. I know it's not perfect. I'm kind of rushing it just to. Let's just go Alt Shift and drag, and then we can just do the whole thing now. We know what we're doing. And we can do the same over here. So left click there, just drag it across. Are we there? You were nearly there. There, over to there. Are we there now? Yeah, we are. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Okay, now I'm very happy with how that looks initially. So let's add some decals to it. We'll call that edge blend. This is good. Let's start with the main. Let's add some lines. I think I had some lines across here just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do, click on iron scratches, click above it, and we'll just call this bottom line indent. How about that? Okay, and then we will grab our default hard brush, click on that material and get rid of it. Okay, so we're only interested in colour and height, so let's make this a yellow. I think that's what we did, like there-ish, something like that. Needs to be quite dark as usual. Let's go a little bit brighter maybe. I don't know. There-ish. Okay, we can always adjust this, can't we? And then we'll bang that right down. Slide over to the alpha. Where are you, baby? Where's that line? There it is, line thin, and then we just zoom in. Alt Shift left click to snap it to position because we're in orthographic mode. Let's go up here and go to alignment camera, and I think I can just make it a bit bigger. Let's start with this, see how we go. And I'm holding Shift and Control. I'd like to go a bit bigger. Also, let's turn symmetry on. And because well, let's just turn it, shall we? And then Alt Shift. Okay. Just hold that. For me, that's a little small, so let's just do that again. Okay. Just drag it across till there, and then because we've mirrored it, we've got very little cleanup to do. I think I just there, then there, just to tidy that up. I like that. And then what I think I did, I think, oh, excuse me, blast, now I don't know what size it was. So I'll just add symmetry again, and I will change the angle to 90 degrees and pop one line. Oh, what have I just done then? Hopefully nothing. And again, I can just shift, right click, and just pin it to the position. This is a bit of a fiddly thing here, getting it right, although I'm already quite happy with that, and you can see that that's done a rather nice indent at the bottom, and you're welcome to add these elsewhere as you feel. I like the way that looks. I might dial down the colour in a moment on that channel, but not before. No, I think that's all we did. Oh yes, I did the skull and crossbones, didn't I? So let's just, I don't want that symmetrized, or I don't want symmetry on this. Let's put the alignment back to tangent wrap, and we'll change our alpha to skull and crossbones. I'm downloading these off the internet, by the way. You know, go and have a look around. See what you can find. I'll use the wireframe mode just to give me a center point to pick, and I will click it. I think I want it to be, well, I was going to say I wanted it to be outwards, but now I look at it, I think inwards is the way to go. One thing that needs to happen here is this needs to be, on the colour, it needs to be linear dodge add. And I think I just need to drag that down and nudge so that the other effects come through, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, not that much. No, hang on. Let's try something like that. If you can see what I'm doing here, so excuse me, I'm choosing the colour channel and just adjusting it. Excuse me, yes. This is not what I wanted to add, though. Yes, no, sorry. I thought I was adjusting the iron scratches there. I'm talking out of turn. It's just showing on that channel, on that layer. Let's try something like that. Okay. This is looking rather good. I think it's looking better than this one, if I'm honest. I'm slightly more impressed with this. I think it's because of the metallic look. Let's add some interesting effects to here. Now let's talk about the normals, something we haven't done yet. So let's, again, we will close this up because we're going to be working on the middle section. And let's click on here and click on another layer, and we'll just call this normals, shall we? I don't know what else to call it. And we will slide down here. The only thing we're interested in affecting here is the normal channel. Normal channel. There we go. Now I've had some real. First thing I'm confused about is because I've got the. Yeah, it doesn't work like the height channel. So let's just talk about this. What I've found the way to do this is to pick yourself a normal that you like the look of. These normals are these kind of blue and purpley ones. Let's try this one. Okay, just click on. Yeah, so you can see what's happened. It's actually still kept the skull and crossbones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click X on the alpha there, and now I can just go ahead and just slap this normal. If I put colour on, for instance, it does something weird like that. It puts the whole thing on. I don't know how to get the alpha to behave itself, so I just tend to switch the colour off for these normals and just have the normal selected. We could probably change roughness and metal and height, but I'm not going to. So let's have another look at this again. I'm just going to click it into position there. Let's add symmetry, and we'll just add one there, shall we? See how it looks. I'm telling you to not put it there because of its because of that yellow line. So let's put one here. Again, I'm using wireframe as my guide, and I'll put one over the other side here. Is it there, or is it the one next to it? That's right. That's right. And now we should have 4 of them going around. Lovely. I like that. I'm not quite sure why I like it, but I like it. This is kind of free from a mesh perspective. You're not wasting any extra polygons. The clever graphics card takes a normal texture and says, this is how I should treat light at certain sections. If you got up close or investigated this at really close range, you can probably see that. There you go. You can see that it's not really, it's not really that indented like that. It's working really well actually. It's very hard to see on this. So that's the idea anyway, just to give it some extra information with not too much computational expense. And one more thing, let's just add some vents up here. So I will click on there, and I'll just click another layer, and we'll just call this indents again. Okay, we're going to turn the normal off and add it to the height channel, make it go inwards, select an alpha, and we'll use this one here, stack. I'll select my symmetry, but I'll make it on the Z axis. No, I will. Yes, I will. I'll just click on here, put wireframe up, and then just drag this to size. Again, it's a bit of guesswork, but just click on there. That didn't work. Why not? Why not? Huh? Because I put it in the wrong bit. I need to put this in the main section. Where did my indents go there? Let's just drag that up. There. Is it going to be kind? Oh, look it. I'm sorry, I didn't expect it to do that. By putting it in the right section, it's actually applied that indent. Well, that's fabulous. One annoying thing is it's too big. So I'm just gonna Control Z it again and then drag that up there. And now, so let's just call that. Let's put it over there. And we'll call, what shall we call this? Vent indent. I don't know. It's a bit of a guess. Okay, and then click over here. Click on this using the wireframe as a guide. Click on there. I think it's too big, so let's just make it a bit smaller. Like that. I don't even know if they'll be seen, to be honest with you, given that we're looking at this from a certain height. But we're using normals. Guys, I really like the way that looks. I was going to add some roughness to this, but I think actually on balance it looks absolutely perfect as it is. Again, knock yourself out, try and improve. I'm sure you can. The more time you spend on this stuff, the better you can make it look. You can overdo it though. Sometimes you just need to keep it simple. You can add too many decals and indents and stuff, and it just ends up looking like a mess. I like the way that looks though. I'm actually going to call that a done deal. Have you noticed, by the way, the back face culling? It's very off-putting for this model because we've only, because it's only got one side. You can only see one side of it. Particularly noticeable when you go underneath. But yeah, again, saving us polys. Okay, right, we are done. So let's save up. File save. What folder is it in? It's in the machine gun folder. So let's just go to the stands. I think I've already got a cylinder.spp, but I will overwrite that. You won't have that there, obviously, because this is one I tried earlier on, and it'll probably ask me. I'll just say yes, and we're good to go. I haven't exported these textures yet. I do want to export these textures. I think I'll probably do that in a separate tutorial, and we'll do it all in one go, because Unity has a kind of specific set of textures that it likes to use. So we will export to those all in one go. And then we can get excited about seeing what they look like in Unity. Guys, I really like this one. This has turned out really nicely for a very simple cylinder stand. I think that's going to look really cool if anybody does get the chance to get up close and personal within the game to look at those. Okay, so let's call that a day. Let's just fast. I did say I'll just do save again, just to be absolutely sure. Thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. I will do my utmost to respond to you. I'm getting some overwhelming responses to this. I'm really thank you very, very much for listening and giving me feedback. I appreciate it. I'm not the substance painter 2 professional that many people are. So I really do appreciate you watching and listening, and I'd greatly receive any feedback you may have, including please don't keep rambling on and end videos. So I will do that now. See you next time. Thank you.